So, during my time in the XCL League on Assetto Corsa Competizione, I've had a great time so far racing in GT3s with a few GT4 appearances as well, with mostly great results. Now, what do GT3s and GT4s have in common? They both have something called traction control, or TC for short. This system basically prevents the car from spinning its wheels too much and makes sure you don't lose grip. Both GT3 and GT4 cars have this system in place alongside with a few other things for safety and performance purposes. But what happens if you remove it? This, ladies and gentlemen, is the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car, the 992 generation. A car that sits somewhere between a GT3 and GT4 in terms of speed, but crucially has no traction control, meaning if you're not careful with the throttle, you might have moments like this. And when I saw that XCL were organizing a few races in these cars, I thought, let's give these a spin. So today we are jumping into a 45-minute cup race around Brands Hatch and see if I can survive. Right, sit back, relax, grab some popcorn or whatever treat you have nearby and let the fun begin.
Stay single file.
Alright, we're going to jump straight into the race. We're not going to watch qualifying because nothing really much happened in qualifying. We set one alright lap time in the middle of the qualifying, and then nothing really much else happened afterwards and beforehand. So we qualify in third place. Good starting position for this race. 45 minutes long. One mandatory fuel stop. So our strategy is simple. Pit exactly halfway through the race. Put some fuel in. Stay stationary for 25 seconds. And then go. Now we are lining up 2 by 2. Waiting for the green flag to drop up to 70 kilometers an hour. 7 992 generation cup cars, 1 991 generation cup car, and the green flag drops, and we're underway for this cup car race here at Brands Hatch. We're heading down towards turn number 1. We're going to hold on to third place, but the silver car behind us gets alongside. He's going to try to maybe go around the outside, but no, we deny him. We stay ahead and heading into the hairpin, almost going 3 wide, but once again we're hanging on to our position. But behind us there is going to be contact, and the silver car is in the barriers immediately and is getting hit into the barriers by somebody who seemingly has Wi-Fi 3 levels of connection here. Only half a minute into the race and there is already drama, but for us we are holding on to P number 3, and now it's just a case of, finding a good pace, finding a good rhythm, and try and at least keep up with the leading duo here, and maybe even catch up and overtake second place, or maybe first place, if that even is a possibility. Although saying that, we get all out of shape exiting the final quarter on lap number 2, and that's going to allow not only the car ahead of us to whiz away into the distance a little bit, one by one, but also the yellow car as we get out of shape once again, exiting turn number 3. And the number 1 car, the yellow car, is going to come closer to us, and we're going to have another out of shape moment here. Oh my god. You can see here, this is my first time driving these Porsche Cup cars, so naturally I'm going to have quite a lot of moments like that where I'm drifting the car, which obviously isn't ideal for a lap time. Now at this point, the leaders have already increased their gap to the point where my focus now is gone from trying to catch up to the top 2 to now trying to stay ahead of this number 1 car. Me and the number 1 already miles ahead of P5, so it's pretty much me versus him for third place, and the others are too far back to even give us a run for Armadi here. So me and him are gonna have a lot of contact. Well, no, not a lot of contact, but a lot of battles today, and we're going to be seeing one here because we get out of shape exiting the final corner, and the yellow car is going to come alongside us. We're going to go side by side, heading down deep pitch straight towards turn number 1. We're going to have the inside line. We're going to go later on the brakes, and we do hang on to first place, although maybe a bit too late on the brakes because the switchback has been performed by the number 1 car. He has the inside line, but we're going to try to go late on the brakes, stay around the outside, and we just about hang on around the outside. We maintain our third position. Epic battles already on lap number 6 here as the number 1 car had a look up the inside there, turn number 3, but we do deny him an overtaking opportunity there. And we are, 7 minutes in? No, 8 minutes in, sorry. And we're already having an intense battle. And we're going to have another one here on the following lap, going from lap 6 to lap 7, and we get out of shape exiting Terminal 3. The Porsche is going to come alongside us here, the yellow car, I should say, and he has a look up the inside, but I squeeze him, stay around the outside, and just about managed to stay ahead yet again. I probably shouldn't say the Porsche is behind me. I should say the yellow car is behind me because we are all in Porsches after all. But so far, 10 minutes in, and we are now pretty much fighting for third place. It looks like third place at this point is going to be the best we'll be able to achieve. First and second, pretty much out of the question now, unless they have some major collisions of their own. And now entering lap number 8, we overshoot turn number 1. We go wide almost into the gravel trap, but at the same time, the number 1 car behind me has a big slide. So we're in a weird twist of events. We both make a mistake at the same turn, and we in the resulting of that, neither the gap increased or decreased. It's a net gain of 0 for both of us here. And as I say that, the number 991 car here heading into Sector 3 having all sorts of issues, and there he is stranded on the side of the road. We managed to get past it very, very cleanly. He has had a very unfortunate race up to this point here. However, we are having a much better time so far. But behind us here, with about 32 minutes to go, the number 1 car has a massive moment into the grass and losing a lot of time. And the gap is going to go from about 1 or so seconds up to 10 plus seconds. Although me going wide here and having that moment is not helpful, but still the gap is up to about 15, 16 seconds. So that is a massive plus for us in our battle, in our pursuit of hanging on to third place here. Now, like I said, first and second out of the picture. Third place is going to be our realistic target for this race. Now, we have 15 minutes in, so we are slowly starting to approach the point where we have to think about our pit stop, and we are most likely going to pit with around 22 minutes to go, as the same car, the same 991 car that had a moment a few laps ago, he was stranded on the third to last corner, and that is us having a massive moment just by dodging the barriers. We lost a little bit of time there, but we do indeed manage to keep the car under control somewhat, and we stay in third place, albeit losing a tad bit of time to the car behind and certainly to the car in front. But with 26 minutes to go here, we are still holding on to our beloved third place, although we are going to lose more time as we go wide exiting turn number 3, and we have a spin of our own, very lightly glazing the barriers with our rear end, and somehow didn't pick up any damage from that. So we continue to move, but that is obviously going to allow the number 1 car to gain a lot on us, and now the gap has gone from nearly 20 seconds down to less than 10 seconds, less than 9 seconds, less than 8 even. So a big loss of time there, and now we have received the alarm fuel level warning there. Our fuel level is low, meaning we are going to have to think about pitting very, very soon. And Jesus, I got a notification on my phone. Don't know if you heard that, but as I was saying, we are now halfway into this race, and the number 1 car behind us decides to come into the pit lane. He's going to try to perform an undercut on us, and now I'm thinking to myself, right, he's going to try to undercut me. I better pit now to prevent that undercut from happening. But I was planning to pit around this point anyway, and I picked a horrible time to flick around with my strategy menu there, because I go off into the gravel trap there, losing more time as a result. But at the end of lap number 16, we are finally going to make our scheduled pit stop. Make sure we don't go below 50k an hour, and we're going to put in enough fuel to get to the end of the race and then stay stationary for at least 25 seconds, and hoping that we come out ahead of the number 1 car as we pull into the box. And we're about to exit the pit lane in 3, 2, 1. And we are underway now, exiting the pit lane. Now we are watching and waiting to see where the number 1 car is going to come out. We now exit the pit lane, and that is the number 4 car there in the distance. And as we now head towards the hairpin of turn number 2, the gap is about 4 or so seconds. Yep, just over 4 seconds, just under 5 seconds even. So we did lose a lot of time in that inlet, but we do manage to stay ahead. And now our task is simple: stay ahead of the number 1. The front-running guys, the top 2, far away up at this point. They are uncatchable. The only way we're going to get second and or first place is if they both make a mistake. Knowing how they've been performing so far, very small chance that they will even perform those kinds of mistakes. So now P3, as I said many times, P3 is our realistic target that we should be aiming for. But heading into this part here, you can see that the number 1 car is having to be going slower and lets the guy in second place overtake him, and that has lost him a bit of time. Although we are going to lose some time ourselves here by going into the grapple trap here, so not helpful. Once again, he loses a bit of time, and then I lose a bit of time in the process. So it's a net gain of 0 on average, pretty much what we had on one of the opening laps of the race before the pit stop. And with about 10 minutes to go here, we're actually just under 11 minutes to go. Apologies for my language. We are holding on to P3. Our pace is quite all over the place at this point, but the main thing is that we are staying ahead. We are staying consistent, and now it's just a case of trying to bring the car home. The gap has been hovering around the 5 to 6 to 7 second range here, so very identical pace between me and the number 1 car here, and we are now actually slowly starting to approach a couple of slower cars here, and I believe we're about to overtake another slower car here. As we can see here, that is the number 911. We had a few coming together with the 991. However, here it is a 911 as we give him the flight light flashing, telling him to get the hell out of my way. Well, apologies for the attempt at the American accent, but thankfully he does slow down, and thankfully we managed to get past back marker numero uno, or numero dos I should say, without any troubles. But here we can see here that P5 and 6 are having a right old battle. There is contact between the 2 cars, and yet again it is the silver car, the same silver car from lap 1 at the hairpin, getting tangled with the car that's seemingly having Wi-Fi 3 or Wi-Fi 2 even levels of connection here. He's been lagging pretty much since qualifying even. And we've actually now got up to that same car here, and I've seen his connection, and once I've caught up to him, I've been cautious. I'm trying to be cautious when trying to overtake this guy, because I know that if I try to overtake him, very high chance that something could happen and we'll have a collision, mainly down to stuff beyond my control. But thankfully he does go off into the gravel trap there, and we do manage to safely get ahead of the glitchy car. And now at this point it was just a case of taking it easy to the checker flag, and the driver up ahead, the number 269, he's been flawless from start to finish. He takes the victory here in Brands Hatch. Flawless drive for him. But for us, as we head towards the final corner in our first ever Porsche Cup car race, with a lot of troubles during the race, we do hang on to finish in 3rd place. Our first race in the Porsche Cup cars, and it's a first podium. Our first podium since that Watkins Glen race in the 296. Actually before the end of last year even. Before the end of 2025 even. So, been a long time coming, but we do finally manage to grab that podium and our XCL rating going up as a result. And my goal for today, for this year actually, is to try and get a silver rating at least in XCL. I'm currently at about 2200 points into the ranking, and I need to get, I think, 3500 to get to silver. So I'm on the grind for that. I'm also on the grind for rallying and rallycross. Videos on that are in the pipeline already, and I've actually uploaded a video last week attempting to set a world record on one of the Swedish stages on the AWRC. So make sure to give that video a watch, and make sure to also tune in for all my future videos. Like, subscribe, follow me on all of my other social media platforms down below, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.